everyone! Today we're going to make vegan brownies. I wanted to share this recipe with you because a lot of times we feel the guilt of eating brownies as much as we love them. I think it's safe to say that most of us love brownies. But you know, it has a lot of calories and it has a lot of additives in there that may not make us feel so good after we eat it. So for instance, I know a lot of store-bought brownies, one of the first ingredients is sugar, and you get a lot of corn syrup, bleached flour. Why we need to bleach flour is beyond me, and added flavor. So you know, you can have brownies without having all of the additives, and then on top of it, it saves money sometimes just to make it at home, and you get the purity of homemade ingredients, and you get to save some money not buying the store-bought brands. So I wanted to share this recipe with you. It's really easy. We're going to just throw it all into a blender and then freeze it. It's raw vegan brownies. They're delicious, and the main sweetener in there is dates. So that's what's going to bind the ingredients together and also add a natural sweetness to it. So here's what you'll need for this delicious raw brownie mix. A bowl of raw dates, pitted and soaked for 20 minutes. Some vanilla extract. Some cocoa powder. One cup of walnuts, and these are raw, not salted or roasted. Salt. And a blender. And that's it. So now drain the dates. Again, these are pitted dates, so make sure there's no seeds in there, and then add the drained soaked dates into the blender. And 1 cup of walnuts. We're going to cover this and blend it for a short period of time. So now I just blended 2 cups of soaked dates that were drained and a cup of walnuts, and blended it up till it was fairly ground up. It doesn't have to be completely ground up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see how it looks now. You might have to push it down a couple times with the spatula, but that's what it looks like. And now we are going to add in 1 cup of cocoa powder, then a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. And we're going to blend it once more till this is all well combined. So now I've blended all the rest of my ingredients and into a dough-like paste. As you can see, it's all nice and thick, nice yummy brownie dough. And now we're going to push it into a freezer-friendly baking dish, cut it and freeze it until it's ready to go. So now get a square dish that is freezer-friendly. I have a glass baking dish here, and pour your batter mixture, or should I say scoop, since this is very thick like a dough, into your baking tray here, and we're going to spread it around. I gotta get all this out first. Very thick, which is good. That's what we want. Just have to get all of it out that I can get here. Yum. It's so good. I could just eat it right now as it is, which of course you could do if you just want some raw batter. It's totally fine to eat it this way. I know people like cookie dough batter. This is brownie dough batter. Dive right on in if you want to skip out on the freezing part. I think that is all I'm going to be able to get out of here. Now, just want to get every last bit that I can out of my blender. And then just spread it in your tray. And I don't know if my tray is too big here or too thin. We are going to find out. But basically just want to spread it around till you can get it into squares that are not super thin, but not necessarily super thick either. You decide on that. However you like your brownies, doesn't really matter. And this, just get it in here, spread it around. Yum. Ooh, I want to eat this right now. This looks so good. So it looks like it's probably only going to go into half of my pan here. This is the pan I had on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Trying to smooth it out so that it's even. That's just me being particular. I don't really think it really matters, but I like it to look as much like nice brownie squares as possible. Okay. Then it's better to cut it before we freeze it because it's going to be easier to get it out, and it's not going to be frozen solid, but it will harden, so it's just easier to cut it into squares beforehand. So you just these ones at the end will be bigger brownies. And I think that is good enough. Yeah, that looks good enough. Okay. And then now we're just going to put it in the freezer. And we are going to freeze it for 20 minutes, and then we can pop them out and eat them. So the brownies have been in the freezer for 20 minutes, and they're ready to be taken out and eaten. So I'm just going to get out of this pan, and you'll find that this doesn't stick really bad or anything. It's actually really easy to scoop out. So I'm just going to go ahead and break them apart a little bit. Looks like I'm getting chocolate everywhere. There you go. Lots of yummy, gooey, raw brownies. Thanks for watching, and look at the description below for the ingredients.